Hey, friend, do you ever find yourself reacting to life in ways that just are not all that helpful? But for whatever reason, you just can't seem to stop yourself. You know these patterns aren't helpful, but they just happen and you don't know what to do about it. I want to give you a different framework for thinking about those experiences. These unhelpful habits were helpful to you at one point in time. They were ways in which you learned how to navigate life in circumstances that you couldn't control. Maybe you shut down and numb out emotion. That was necessary at one point in time. You didn't know how to process emotion or didn't have permission to do that. No one showed you how. So you really didn't have any other choice but to stuff down and numb those things out. Or maybe you developed this unhelpful habit of people pleasing, right? Because saying no and being a separate self and disappointing others was not okay. And you lost relationship and connection. And you were taught that it's not okay to let other people down, even when that's necessary to honor who it is that you are and what's right for you. You had to navigate life like that at one point in time. But today it's robbing your life. It's really preventing you from having the fullness of life that you want to have. So what do you do about that? How do you change that? How do you have it be different? The answer is in healing the wounds and filling the gaps that actually underlie those unhelpful ways of navigating life. The unhelpful habits are symptoms. They're not actually the problem. And if you try to just stop the habit, it's kind of like mowing down a dandelion. The roots are still there, it's just going to pop right back up. You can't get rid of unhelpful habits by just trying to muscle your way through stopping the habit. The way to really transform that unhelpful habit is to address the wounds and the gaps underneath it that are driving it. And when you do so, it'll transform that unhelpful habit into a helpful way of navigating life. It'll give you skills and capacities to be able to navigate life assertively and directly, and to know how to process your emotions through to completion and use that information for navigating your life and having the close and meaningful relationships that you long for. So you don't have to stay stuck in these habits. Even though they were helpful at one point in time, they're robbing you of the fullness of life and true happiness that you could be having today. So I invite you to get curious about your unhelpful habits, to think about how they have helped you in previous seasons of your life and what they're keeping you from during this season. And then be curious about what's underneath that. What are the experiences of life that have left you wounded or with gaps in your development that, if you invited others to help you care for, would transform your life? As always, Cassie and I are here cheering you on as you mature into happiness.